I'm coming to you tonight at the Vintage Market and Decor in Randall, Minnesota. Tonight I am here with Jen and Laura, and they have the coolest little, do we call it a store?
Little retail space, little market.
It's so great, and I can't wait to share their story with you, but it's called the Vintage Market and Decor.
Correct.
And Laura, this was you started this off. This was your brainchild, right? How did this evolve?
A mutual friend of ours introduced us. She was a little nervous too because I think she was worried we were gonna out her or something.
Don't out your friends.
She's like, you guys still be too good at friends. But so as soon as I met Jen, I knew of her and Mrs. Bugs, her business and her entity, and I knew of her, and I was just, and then I got to know you, and then I was like, I don't know where this is going, but it's gonna be a wild ride. Yeah. And in our first cup of coffee that we had, we were somehow saying it, but not saying it. We need a space. I don't know what it's gonna be, I don't know what it's gonna look like, but we need a space.
At that point, you had started your own little
little side business. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And so we were kind of like, what if our two thoughts were together? Mm-hmm. So literally walked out my front door. I said, well, come check out my old barn. It's not even an option. Too much work, too much manure. But let's just go, and we walk in and Jen goes, yep, this would work. This would work.
Yeah. Well, Jen, you're amazing at that. We talked about that.
Well,
so your focus is home decor, correct?
Correct.
So where do you get your products or your vision, or tell me a little bit about that?
I don't know. My vision.
Inspiration comes from a dusty old barn.
Yeah.
Okay, just go in and you find treasure.
Lots of garage sales, lots of estate sales, lots of pulling things from burning fires, real heroic stuff.
Dumpster diving, whatever it takes, right?
I guess what you and I have learned a lot about each other is we operate very differently. Mm-hmm. Our brains just operate very differently fundamentally, and I look at something and I'm like, oh, just flip it on its side, put some wheels on it, it's a coffee table. Mm-hmm. And Jen's like, no, that's just a chicken crate. I'm like, you don't see it.
Yeah, you have a very creative brain. You do. You find very cool purposes for things that you think outside the box.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. And Jen, I've seen your work too. And don't sell yourself short.
No, I love old things. I love finding uses for them.
So you have a business and it's called Mrs. Bugs.
Mrs. Bugs Design. Yep. Steve and I, my husband, make custom stands for old Crocs or planters, that type of thing.
Okay. Yeah. And you started that before the two of you met. Right. So you kind of had your, I understand,
little entities.
And then you came together.
Yep.
Yeah.
And people can come out and shop.
Right.
You have set hours.
Our hours of operation right now are still considered an occasional space.
Okay.
We tend to be driven by holiday weekends. So Memorial weekend, 4th of July weekend, Labor Day weekend. But then we've been getting better at sprinkling some other events and other opportunities in between there. So
how would people find out about you? Like in your hours? Do you have a website?
We do. Our website is thevintagemarketanddecor.com.
Okay.
Facebook, we're on there, Vintage Market plus Decor, and then on Instagram, Vintage Market Decor.
Then we have Jen.
Yep, Ms. Bugs Design, so MsBugsDesign.com. But Facebook, I think, is the best way to find out kind of what our events, what's coming up, and
events, classes.
Yeah. Anything else you want everyone to know in the world that you want to share? This is so fun out here. This is such a fun shoot because going around your farm, you can just feel the family and how much it's loved. Yeah. And you have great energy out here. It's fun. Yeah. So that is the introduction to the Vintage Market and Decor. But our conversation with Jen and Laura continued. Next time on Community Connections, we'll hear more about Laura's journey to sobriety and how that led to Vintage Market and Decor.